Folks, we're back at it again. Same place, same time somewhat. A little bit of a different arrangement as far as some of the furniture being moved for us to be able to present the product to you. But nonetheless, you guys know what time it is. It's podcast night, and we are here live in the On the Money Sports
We're
Lounge
live, pal.
Casino, coming to you live for another edition of On the Money podcast. A couple days removed from WrestleMania. Heading into week 2 of Sandlot Baseball Association Fantasy Baseball League.
WrestleMania. Linda McMahon's theme song.
So much happening right now in the world of sports, even without football.
What up, Eric?
What's going on, Eric? How you doing? Eric's checking in. First one to check in for tonight's podcast. Shout out to you, my friend. Nonetheless, here I am once again. My name is Irrational. Alongside me, as always, none other than Oscar O Money.
What it do, ladies and gentlemen? It is Wednesday night. We know what it's all about. RJ already dropping the news that dropped today. Eagles, Packers, week 1, Brazil, Friday night football, Friday night freaking lights. If I'm off that Saturday, I might just have a couple heads over that Friday night.
So is there going to be a Thursday night football game too, or is
yes,
literally...
It's Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and Monday.
Wow.
They can't take Saturday because that belongs to college football Saturdays.
Too
and
early,
my promise to
Too
you,
early.
the world of college football, I will watch religiously this year. I will pay attention this year.
Why?
Because I want to. Every year I say I want to watch more college football. I feel like I don't watch enough.
I don't have the time, I feel like. But I had time to watch the national title game.
What up, Serge?
South Carolina versus Iowa. South Carolina, Dawn Staley. That group goes hard. They get another national championship. Shout out to them. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. I think they got, 8 million more views than the men's national title game.
I mean, when the men's game's at 9:20 at night.
Yeah, that part doesn't help either. And then the women had the prime slot. But that's also a credit to them because that's the game that meant more. Like,
yeah,
you get that 3:30 Sunday prime slot, bro. Like, you're the game of the day.
And they were smart too. They got that game in before WrestleMania began.
Yeah, WrestleMania Sunday.
No matter what people want to say, people tune in.
WrestleMania Sunday. Went out with Heather for lunch. We hit the brass tap during the day.
That. Had a little Steve Weiser.
The Yankees game and the Phillies game going on at the same time. I had myself one of the Steve Weisers, El Segundo, which was amazing. And it's funny because the TVs were on random stuff. You had baseball, you had racing, but the minute that national title game started, literally everybody's heads turned towards the national title game because that was the thing prior to WrestleMania actually kicking off later on. Like, all eyes were on Caitlin Clark versus South Carolina, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. And it was a hell of a game. And those girls balled out. And
what was I doing?
South Carolina wins another one.
I was getting done Aiden's game, so I really didn't pay attention to I didn't watch that game at all. Because then I came home, came down here. I opened up the sofa bed. When you go over to use the bathroom, you'll see the sofa beds out. I was laying down Sunday night just watching wrestling, going crazy. Popped a couple times for things that were popping off. Minka was down here. He was driving me crazy because he wouldn't sit still.
It's a good show.
But night 2 was definitely better than night 1.
Yeah. I didn't even bother with night 1.
The main event was really good, even though it was 45 minutes long. But
it was
the match that was great night 1 was Gunther and Sami Zayn. That was a very good match. A lot of my predictions didn't come true.
What happens?
Hey, but you know what I will say? I was right about Bayley winning because who's Evo's guy?
Hell of a match.
Not to take anything away from her, but she hasn't been a really good champion, so it's good to get the belt off her.
She got to defend the title.
She's been a 6-month transitional champ.
She got to go to Mania as champion and hold the belt and walk out with the title. And they did right by Bayley because Bayley never really got that moment.
Yep.
And I was happy for her. I was happy for Damian Priest. And I just thought they did a really good job.
Who rules Monday Night Raw? The Judgment Day do.
Well, we'll see because there's a draft coming. And I feel like Priest's going to end up on SmackDown.
If they do what they did last year, they kept them as a group. When they got
Oh, as a
drafted, you
unit?
drafted the whole group.
That'd be
I think that's what they do for the groups. Like they'll just keep them
If you're
together.
over.
Yeah, if you're over.
If you're over.
If you're not, you're not going together, bud.
Sorry. And yeah, Sunday was also the last day of week 1 of Sandlot Baseball Association. You got the narrow victory over me, 5-4. Baseball games start earlier on Sundays, so it's a very active, eventful day in the world of sports.
Talking about
fantasy
baseball,
sports.
did you see? I don't know if you saw it because I don't think you watched. Was it Saturday or Sunday night he did it? When he grabbed the kendo stick and he started doing the Gary Sheffield before he hit Cody with it.
Man, there was a lot of kendo stick action going on in WrestleMania. It
I
was
love
kinda
watching
funny.
Bailey Shorty thicker than oatmeal.
Bailey had her moment. She's the champ. A lot of title changes, and champions that lost their title after, a very long time of having the belt. So the title changes, I guess, meant a little bit more. I
If
wasn't
it
big
wasn't
on
for
the,
no one in sports talk, it'd be strange to join on first here. It's good to get the belt off her. What's up, Chris? Jets Chris in the house.
in the house, man. It's a good time of year. It's a fun time of year. Yeah, football isn't here, but you know what? Like, there's a lot happening in the world of sports. Not to
Pro
mention
wrestling is cool again.
that on Saturday there's no NBA, and then the final day of the NBA season, I believe, is Sunday. So
There
next
was no
week-
NBA this past Monday.
Next week we're in
The
the
Sixers
playoffs.
only got 2 games.
Yeah, we're in the playoffs, and now we're looking at the play-in matchups, and we're also potentially going to take a look at some of the teams that we believe in, and some of the teams that are looking a little bit fugazi, heading into
Fugazi, it's
Yeah, 'cause
Swazi, it's-
now we're heading into play-in territory, and last night the Warriors beating the Lakers, helping.
Kudos to the
their
Sixers
chances.
trying to get out of the play-in.
I mean,
'cause
nobody wants to be in the play.
Anything can happen in a play-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's the part that people don't understand.
And yes, the hashtag Anthony Volpe sweepstakes is officially underway.
Everybody's
Anthony Volpe, one of the hottest commodities in fantasy baseball right now, the best batting average in baseball, period. Celtics year, you'll see. We've got Drew Holiday signing a massive 4-year deal, staying with the Boston Celtics.
That's a big contract for a player at that age.
It's a good deal, though. It's something that the Bucks should have done. Now look at the Bucks and their situation with Giannis injured, and now it's just
The
Dame
Achilles
time.
is intact.
Yeah, but I mean, the Bucks ain't intact.
I heard the same thing about Kevin Durant when he had the calf strain, and what did he pop in those playoffs? The Achilles.
The Bucks ain't intact on top of that. They have been a shaky basketball team. In the last week and a half, they've lost to some of the worst organizations in basketball. And now you have no Giannis. They're in a matchup tonight. They're actually playing as we speak. I'll be checking the scores a little bit later, looking at some of the bets that I'm going to inevitably sweat out. But yeah, man, like the worst possible timing for an injury to him, as we are less than a week removed from the playoffs.
What up, Magoo? Eric said 2-way players are hard to come by. He's a good asset.
It's a great asset. He's better than
I
Dame.
agree. He's very good, but when I look at that deal, I'm like, wow.
Look what he's done for Boston. Like they're better this year. Now it's just, can Boston freaking finally close? That's the big question.
Yeah,
like,
it
there's
comes
no
down to
doubt.
closing.
There's no doubt they're the best team in the East. All right, they are number 1 in the East, and that's it. And when you think about the West,
You know
there's
what's
only 1 or
crazy,
2
though?
teams that can give them a run for their money.
If they don't win, the coach is going to get canned. I think they'll can the coach.
In Boston,
Yeah. So there's got to be a fall guy.
this team's history of closing in the last couple of years is,
Knicks
it
are
sucks.
coming.
But it sucks.
Knicks
but they
ain't
do
doing
it.
nothing with Randall.
Well,
Without Randall.
I'm actually interested to see who they match up with. And I'm also interested if Jalen Brunson can carry this MVP caliber type of play into a series format, and like who they match up with. 'Cause I'm not totally sure.
Listen, when you consider
Matter of
how
fact,
the
I'll pull it
new
up right
rule
now.
is,
because we have the comments right there.
Eric says keeping guards under their averages and putting up points is the important factor. That's what
winning.
made getting smart out of there worth it.
Look at Smart now. He's on the shelf. He's not coming back till next year. So, like, right now, they'd be without Marcus Smart, who we all know that in Boston, he played a pivotal role for the Celtics when he was there.
Really,
They actually required a lot from Marcus Smart.
he was
when
really a
there.
good player.
To the point where you were asking yourselves, like, why is he taking that many threes? You know what I mean? Like when you think to yourself, it should have been Brown, it should have been Tatum. Now you have assets like Derek White taking those shots and making them. Porzingis,
Derek White is a great player.
he's consistent as hell, bro. Like and defensively, shooting, the rebounding, assists. Porzingis is having another great season. So it's like you've got the misfortune of an injury to Giannis to the Bucks. Meanwhile, the Celtics right now are firing on all cylinders. And now it's just a question of
if he can't play in the first round of the playoffs, he's not. The Bucks are going to lose in the first round.
Dude, I don't like their survival chances.
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Real quick, we'll go through the top 10 in the East right now. In first place with a record of 62-17, they completely ran away with the conference. We've got the Boston Celtics, followed by in second place for now, with a record of 48-31, the Milwaukee Bucks. The Knicks are right behind them with a record of 47-32, and then right behind them is the Magic and the Cavaliers with an identical record of 46-33. This dramatically impacts the seeding when you've got these records that are so close where you can't really predict who's going to play who yet. Pacers are in the 6th seed, 46-34, safe from the play-in, and then we get to the 7 through 10 play-in range. It's the 76ers, the Miami Heat, the Chicago Bulls, and the Atlanta Hawks. Sixers with a record of 45-35, Heat with a record of 44-35, Bulls with a record of 37-42, and the Atlanta Hawks with a record of 36-43. So it would be your misfortune if the playoffs started tomorrow to have to deal with the Miami Heat right off the bat in a play-in. That's not who you want to play. I like your odds much better against a team like Chicago who hasn't beaten Embiid yet.
I'm impressed with this. Like, look how quick Embiid comes back and they go on a winning streak.
Yeah, because he's the only one that can do anything. And
we realize the dynamic changes drastically with Joel Embiid.
Without Embiid, Maxey is not special. He's just a guy. With Embiid, Maxey becomes a guy that you can rely on to be that second player. Tobias Harris is Tobias Harris. You get what you get with that guy. But then I
see we gave Tobias the nickname Tobias Harris to Nick Castellanos.
He's the same. They're the same person. They're the same person.
They play different sports.
Overpaid to underproduce.
Ugh, gross.
And of course they needed him back. They were hanging on by a thread. Knicks are taking that second slot. You think so? You think that it will be them over Cleveland to end up taking the 2 seed away from Milwaukee? I feel like everybody only has 2 games left. It's been hard to trust Milwaukee as it is. You fired that other guy for no reason. I mean, you fired Budenholzer because the players wanted him gone. So you really fired him for no reason. You brought in Doc Rivers. You've been losing to teams like the Washington Wizards. And now
Eric with the comment of the night that I'm going to show on the board. Word up.
The one about the Bucks.
Let me scroll it down. Giannis runs pace ball. Dame plays ice ball. ISO. Was never going to work.
It's going to get figured out by
ding,
a smart
ding,
team.
Ding, 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 ding. And that is the comment of the night so far, ladies and gentlemen, because we've all been screaming that shit since the deal happened. We all asked who was playing defense.
Doc Rivers' track record in the playoffs is not very good either. And yes, this Bucks team, the defense that they used to play compared to the defense they play now, it's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. You can do whatever you want against this team now.
Sean, I'm a Sixers fan, Eagles fan, and AJ Cole. AJ Cole fan, just throw me in the trash can.
Oh, boy.
Yikes.
Oh, the Sixers don't have to apologize for the season they had, unlike J. Cole.
No, they don't, because their best player got hurt for 2/3 of the season.
It could have been a lot worse.
And before he got hurt, they were actually looking like a dominant team.
Well, you guys were like the 2 seed.
Yeah, they were playing dominating ball. Nick Nurse got this team playing ball. Nick Nurse deserves a lot of credit, though. I know they didn't have a winning record while Embiid was gone, but he kept them afloat. He never let the ship just sink.
He turned Kelly Oubre into a household name for a couple weeks. Oubre was getting his points, rebounds, and assist props. He was hitting threes. Basically, the offense was running through Oubre because, guess what? Tyrese Maxey's cold streaks last a really long time.
Uh-huh.
When he's off, it's not something that he can get. It's going to take him a while to get back in rhythm. Now with Embiid, Maxey can be Maxey again, and hopefully everything flows smoother. And, it's just a question, it's always a question of the big man's health. And now the bigger question, since, for Philadelphia.
Eric defending Doc. I'm going to defend Doc. It's not his fault. The team was in shambles. You could plug any coach, and there was no. I agree.
For the Doc can't take the blame for what's happening with Milwaukee because Milwaukee was in a shaky situation prior to him being there. But I don't blame the coach that got fired either. That's the thing. Like, I don't blame that guy. I don't blame Doc Rivers. I think it's more of a team thing as far as who's there and the toxicity of what's going on there and what I think is going to inevitably cause them to get eliminated, which is the fact that you guys got rid of a great coach in Budenholzer and you stopped doing all the things that helped you be that team that can beat the Celtics. We knew that's what it was going to come down to. Celtics versus Bucks. Now,
next to the moon from Mikey.
I did say there was going to be a Bucks regression this year. I called it before the season started. I said the Bucks are going to regress, and there's going to be teams like the Philadelphia Sixers, the Knicks, the Cavs that are going to have that opportunity to showcase like we can be that number 2 to Boston, and that's basically exactly what's happened. For Philly, the Embiid injury dropped them down a few pegs, but nonetheless, look who's right behind Milwaukee, New York, Cleveland. Like, it's just a question of what these teams can
no
do
chemistry.
in the series.
Dame needed to be a Sixer.
Dame to the Sixers? You thought that was going to help you guys? I mean,
well, that's Eric saying this.
I don't know. I think it's. I know that you're probably thankful he didn't end up in Boston because, Dame was the big fish as far as free agency. Thanks to the moon. Congrats, Terrell, on the big basketball championship. That's right, Supreme Baller Society. Terrell, Bell, Oscar.
I'm guessing you went bitching in y'all league about it.
And now...
I didn't lose.
Due to the tiebreakers, it says that Terrell is the champion. It feels like you guys are co-champions. Nonetheless, now we have a fee for the next season of Supreme Baller Society because who would have thought it ended in a tie, which is absolutely freaking insane. We've had 6 ties in this league this year.
I will
One
never,
of them happened
ever
to be
listen.
the
What
championship.
Terrell needs to understand, I don't give a shit what Sleeper says, ESPN says, Yahoo says. I didn't lose.
That was also part of Sunday. Sunday was a very eventful day. Sunday was a very eventful day. The baseball group chat was lit because of the basketball discussion that was going on based on the outcome of the championship matchup between Oscar and Terrell. So, I know the baseball guys are probably looking like, what the hell's going on here? But it was crazy. Now what, you both ended with like a score of 248? Hardy Boys championship.
289.
Dame running the ISO and beats the last. They would have been worked. Oh, yeah. Like, with Dame on the Sixers, I think that they potentially could get bounced in the first round, definitely by the second round when it got to that point. But, this year, I don't know, man. This year, I don't know. I think that whether it's the Knicks or the Cavs, maybe Philly, it's like one of these teams has a shot to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, one of these teams has a shot to go to Boston and, just see how they measure up against the best on that side. For Philly, though, I don't like their chances if they get stuck in the 7th spot with Miami in the 8th spot, having to deal with the Miami Heat in that game because Jimmy Butler has the Sixers circled on his little book. And he's always going to have them circled on his little book, and he's always going to play harder when it comes to playing that
Ryan's book from The Office when he came back.
And the Philadelphia Sixers have shown that they do not have an answer for Heat culture.
Nah.
Like, they don't. That's just that. Hell, the Bucks for a long time, struggled mightily against the Miami Heat. It's just playoff Heat are a different animal. They beat Boston before. They beat the Bucks before. They beat Philly before. Like,
ooh, let me pull that up. This is from Eric. Miami gets bounced early this year, is my take. Eric, do you think they get out of the play-in?
I think that I think knowing Eric as long as I have, I know that a lot of his takes are based on who he feels are the biggest threats to Boston. So he likes to get rid of them early. I'm not saying it's completely biased, but to a certain extent, it's kind of biased when it comes to some of the takes that he has, especially like when it comes to the Miami Heat. Like,
he says they're out of the box. They're going to lose in the play-in.
You think so? I mean, So here's who we've got in the play-in right now. It's the Sixers, the Bulls, the Hawks, Miami. Miami's in the 8th. So it's in order. It's Sixers, Heat, Bulls, Hawks. You really think any of those 3 teams is going to beat the Miami Heat in a one-game playoff situation? Like, the Hawks are fugazi. The Bulls, you know what? The Bulls have been low-key kind of scrappy. Like, they've been an interesting basketball team because we wrote them off and they found themselves back in the mix. And the Bulls actually beat a couple of good teams on like they were holding on. You know what I mean? They were holding on to the end of the train to be able to get
Here's
on.
Chris
Like,
defending Miami. I'll pull that up.
it's hard on Miami, man. They turn it up in the playoffs and can't forget about the coach. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Especially we're talking like, and they travel well. Like they've beaten all these teams. There's no fear in Miami's heart. They'll go anywhere and they know how to play at home. And they have a head coach who has the experience, but also, you know, Nick Nurse does have experience as well. You know, he does have experience, and we're talking about a guy that's able to get the best out of what he has. Again, credit to him for doing things like unlocking Kelly Oubre and getting the most out of a player that none of us even had on our bingo card. So,
And yo, what's up with diminishing Buddy Hield?
I think he diminished. I don't think he understands the system. I don't know. He came in hot, and then
Came in real hot.
and then that was it. Like he just fizzled faster than
Like,
anybody.
get his
Like,
ass out on the floor with Embiid out there, man.
They don't know what to do with him.
He's gonna get open shots.
They-
They're gonna focus on Embiid. They're gonna focus on Maxey, and then you got Hield, and you know, look at what Oubre's doing when they're all focused on the other two. He's hitting wide open shots.
Guys like Hield are just going to have to step up to the moment and not leave everything to Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, he's going to shoot a couple himself, but those guys are going to have to step up to the moment in order for this team to make it out of a series. Otherwise, they can lose in 5 if it's just the Embiid show and you let Embiid do whatever he wants, and we're just going to shut down the rest of your team and just beat you as a team. You know, we've seen it over the years, over and over. Michael Jordan had to deal with that shit when it came to Detroit. Detroit would just let him do what he did, and they shut everything else down around him.
Who's the new tribal chief? We don't know that yet, Mago. We don't know that yet.
Real quick to just do a rundown
It's
of
either-
the West.
I'm going to say it's the final boss.
See, tonight's game is actually huge between Minnesota and Denver because they are actually both 55 and 24 at the top of the West. So the winner of this game gets the number 1 seed in the West. They're 1 and 2, followed by the OKC Thunder, who are a game behind them. 4 games behind them are the Clippers in the 4 seed. Then you've got the Mavericks, the Pelicans, who are safe. And in the play-in, which this play-in is super spicy, you've got the Phoenix Suns at number 7. You've got the Sacramento Kings at number 8. You've got the Lakers at number 9. And you've got the Warriors at number 10. So if the play-in started tomorrow, it would be LeBron versus Curry. And then it would be KD and the Suns taking on the Sacramento Kings in the other matchup.
Yeah, what the hell happened to them?
Kings?
The Suns.
The Suns? Just inconsistent. Just inconsistent. And you know, not having their core group together for big parts of the season.
I feel like they should have just kept it with, you know, I think losing Ayton hurt more than what people want to admit.
And just not being as good as the names above them that I mentioned.
Because DeAndre Ayton was a beast, man.
Like the Suns are not the same caliber of the Wolves, the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Clippers. Like they're really not. Like once you get to the Mavericks and the Pelicans, like you can have a discussion as far as those teams. But like as far as the top 4, like the Suns simply are not at that level. However, now that we're getting into the playoff format, we also see that a lot of these basketball teams doing the rope-a-dope and don't look like they have it all together, but you lock yourself in a steel cage with a Kevin Durant and a Devin Booker, who the other night dropped 25 points on the Pelicans in the first quarter. Like you put yourself in a steel cage with those guys when they're hot. Like the Phoenix Suns could be one of those teams that maybe the seeding works into their favor because they'd be a harder 6 seed matchup to have to deal with compared to the conventional 6 seed. Got the we showing the AEW footage here.
They're dropping the footage of Punk and Perry.
This is Tony Khan's response to WrestleMania. Got Samoa Joe.
It's live, pal.
Samoa Joe in the background just watching. Yes, we are watching along. We're keeping up with basketball, baseball right now.
Where's Tony hiding?
AEW. product that Oscar wants. He wants them to be better.
I want them to be
He wants
so
them
good.
to want to be better.
You
though.
need that. Oh, shit. It was Punk. Punk was the aggressor.
Little rabbit punch. Oh,
Yo,
that's him
how does
going
this
after-
make CM Punk look bad?
That's him going after Khan, I guess. So,
How does that make him look bad?
new tribal chief, Damian Priest. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen as far as the bloodline. We do know that they did set up The Rock versus Cody Rhodes down the line. We don't know when it's gonna happen, but we know it's gonna happen. I know that it was a little bit awkward. The fact that look at that, they got their first storyline. Anyway,
How do we show something? Like, real quick, I know people probably don't know, but like what we just watched, they made it seem like it was going to be so damning on Punk. It's going to change our minds on him. I just seen Phil kick Jungle Boy's ass.
a little bit with rabbit punches. That's why AEW is lame, bro. That's why I just
You just basically promoted a guy that's on another promotion, and that's how you got your ratings.
you put him over more.
Yeah. Look at Taz, like, yeah, that wasn't smart.
So
Even Tony Schiavone right now is looking at the screen like, why am I here?
So onto the better show. The fact that it was a little bit awkward that The Rock asked for Cody's belt, it was because WWE wanted to ensure that they had the image of The Rock holding the title. Because they know The Rock is not going to be on TV for a bit. Like,
Listen,
he's
that
going
was done
away.
by design.
He's going away. So it's part of the story, you know? It's part of the story.
Everybody, Bubba Ray Dudley's talking about it's the watch that he put in his hand. You know what I think it was? The matches. They're going to use the bus catching on fire in real life as a storyline, and that it was The Rock who lit that bitch on fire.
He lit his bus on fire. Yo, Final Boss Rock is pretty crazy, man. Dude's intense.
Yo.
This is the guy
Yo.
we needed in Black Adam.
Yo, remember?
Like, this is who we needed.
Yo,
This guy.
remember when they showed the video of after Raw ended? He was like, "You think the show's over and it ends after that? Fuck that!" And he hit him again with the belt.
And I know myself, like a lot of others, were expecting to hear the glass break when we got all those run-ins in a matter of 5 minutes. It didn't happen. Undertaker was the consolation prize. Undisclosed reasons behind Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, we're
not
never
being
gonna know,
there, but
man.
We know he was the option. However, we do know that this is part of Steve Austin's history as far as when he don't want to do something,
He ain't
he
doing
ain't gonna do that shit, bro. So who knows? Maybe it was a conversation that was on the table, and WWE side said something that he balked at, and it was just like, all right, we gotta pivot. And you know, Dead Man, he's itching to do something wrestling related. Like he can't wait. Undertaker cannot.
You know, the
wait.
best part was the video of him running back to the back with the lights out.
Undertaker could not wait. Like, I'm surprised that there was probably a few marks out there that were getting ready for a Rock versus Undertaker showdown match. But
Yeah,
I don't think that's the
not
direction they're heading in. We're gonna get Cody versus The Rock. Down the line, we're gonna get The Rock versus Roman. We could potentially get some Seth
You're gonna
Rollins
get Roman versus Seth.
Yeah, that's gonna happen again because that shit ain't over. That shit is not over. I think that was a beautiful part of the story is the fact that he just can't get that out of his head. In the biggest match of his career, he went after Seth still. I don't care.
Like I told him, if you watch that match didn't even need all that hoopla at the end.
the brouhaha,
They were having a match of the year type match. They really were. And it wasn't like, false, like I'm stealing your finish, you're kicking out of it. It was legit. Like they got great chemistry together. The two of them have really good chemistry together.
the finals team's predictions. My NBA finals prediction was Boston Celtics versus Denver Nuggets. And because of the track record of the Celtics and because I feel like the Nuggets are one of the only teams that could give the Celtics a problem this year, I am going to go out on the record and say that I think that Nikolai Jokic and the Denver Nuggets are going to win another NBA championship this year. I think they're going to get out of the West. I think that in a series, they would beat the Timberwolves. And you know something else? OKC is a great story. They're a great young team. OKC is going to be around for a long time. But I think OKC could very well lose to one of the lower seeds in the West because OKC's problem is
That's not who I needed to hit a home run.
Staying home run, baby. Thank you.
My parlays, people, my parlays.
A guy that will remain nameless in our baseball league recently dropped Giancarlo Stanton, and ever since he dropped him,
who was that dropped him?
It was Noli.
What was he thinking?
It's because the problem with Noli is that he can't separate his hate from the Yankees from fantasy baseball. He thinks it's still about Phillies versus Yankees, but it's more three-dimensional than just Phillies versus Yankees. It's just a group chat full of all of us. Reality is, fantasy baseball is about stats. It's not about emotions. It's not about hating the Yankees. And he can't let it go because he had the guy with the NY logo on his team. He unceremoniously drops him. In the last 3 days, Giancarlo Stanton, day one, got me 2 runs. Yesterday got me an RBI double. And today, it just got me a home run. I don't know how many guys were on base. I'm not sure what the score is because I haven't been looking. If anybody can fill me in on the score, I'd love to know.
I'll do it right now.
Because Jake Berger killed us with that 3-run shot that he hit.
Yankees are down by 3. Bottom of the 6th.
So it's a solo shot. I mean, hopefully the rally starts now and we can come back and sweep this Marlins team because up until this point, the Fish have shown no signs of life.
Volpe got my head at least. Aaron Judge has not gotten a single home run or an RBI like I needed.
So you need a 3-run shot.
I need a 3-run shot to end the game.
Walk
the Yankees win. I win $36.
Bronx baseball. Oscar wins $36. Go Yankees, right? That's what you're going to say at the end.
Go Pinstripes.
There you go. Close enough.
It's about money.
Keep leaving people. Yeah, we've been leaving people on the bags for the last couple of days. It's been very annoying. And not for nothing, Marcus Stroman was not impressive today. Wasn't feeling it. You're going up against one of the worst lineups in baseball. Nobody hits more ground balls than the Florida Marlins. So your objective is very simple. Get your 5.5 innings in, get it over to our bullpen, get yourself out of there. But to allow a 3-run bomb like that so early in the game, it's not ideal.
Get me the hell out of here.
It's not ideal. You know what I mean? Because the fact is we have been leaving a lot of guys on the bases the last couple of days. We're on a 4-game winning streak, but we could be winning these games by a lot more, and we just need to, we got to sweep the leg. There's no mercy. Score as many runs as you can on these guys. Everybody. Every single team. Destroy them. Take them to the cleaners. Treat them all like the Astros until we get to our final destination. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with Stroman. If anything, I feel like Rodon did a little bit better last night. He actually pitched into the 7th inning, which was a little crazy. Russell Westbrook just ruled out for tonight's game. Wow. So Matt had a triple-double bet on Russ.
Oh.
I myself just put in a rebounds bet on Russ. The Clippers already are without James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard for this basketball game. Now add Russell Westbrook to the mix. So I don't even know what their starting lineup is going to look like. But if you have something to parlay the Suns' money line with, now's the time. Now's the time. Hit send. Get your late night bet in. I got most of mine in, so I just got to review them now and see how they did.
Just checking.
This is Stroman's first. I mean, I just wasn't impressed with him today. That's all. I wasn't impressed. That's all. I'm not saying long term. I'm just saying today. You're going up against one of the worst lineups.
If anyone was watching wrestling, look what the caption says.
Poor Tony Schiavone, dude, looks like he's having flashbacks to Russo era. Yeah, that's what's happening. It's Diet WCW for all the marks out there who were watching WrestleMania, wishing that the other product was like them. Enjoy your Diet WCW and enjoy WWE taking a new direction into an era that's going to be a lot more fun. Showman bounced back, but we gave him no run support. Yeah, leaving guys on bags doesn't help. Rodon with a 1.72 ERA and 3 starts. I haven't said a bad thing about Rodon in a couple weeks, so that's a good thing. I was a little nervous about his first start of the season, but ever since then, he's been in his groove. He might have a bad inning, but he just, Nestor Cortez gave us 7 innings the other day. And guys, this is exactly what we need to be doing right now. we know that we don't have our true ace. Garrett Cole is not there. He just started throwing and catching sessions, 25
Did he?
pitches. Yeah, he started the other
Well, that's
day.
good.
So to be able to win these baseball games without our true ace and to give these other starting pitchers the confidence, to go out there and get through the rotation, get 6 or 7 innings, it's a beautiful thing right now. Go 10-2 right now with Judge only batting 200 and Garrett Cole not there. Like, Judge hasn't even heated up yet. So it's a good place to be. You've got the Boston Red Sox right now with 7 wins behind us, and then everybody else in our division with 6 wins. So the AL East right now is, one slip up and you're out. Like, you're going to have a good record and not make the playoffs in that division.
Yeah. Luckily for the Phillies, they're catching a break. The Mets suck. The Marlins suck.
And the Nationals are scrappy.
Yep.
So it's a 2-team division, kind of like what we predicted it would end up being for the NL East. I need Cole to come back bad. He'll be back. We don't have – now the thing is we don't have to rush him back. That's the beauty of what's happening right now. We're finding ways to win baseball games for the most part. Our pitching is doing a good job. And there's no – we do not have to rush this guy back because guess what? If we rushed him back and we were in a bad situation, that would only make the situation worse. Just play. Just play baseball. Play baseball. And then see who's standing at the end when we get into the playoffs. And what these rotations look like around the league. Because not for nothing, I'm not too impressed with the Astros right now. They're maybe they're playing the Royals in a series right now. And maybe it's a question of maybe the Royals got better because they've been hitting like crazy recently.
That bullpen's killing them.
But their pitching is just atrocious. So the fact that they were struggling in a series that they just had with the Royals just makes me feel as though that division might very well belong to these Texas Rangers, the defending champs.
Yeah.
Mets and Braves done had like 4 or 5 games postponed. Yeah, they did it again today. It's freaking annoying. I need my Michael Harris and my Albies. I need those guys in my lineups.
Ozuna.
I need the pop. Ozuna, who's been hitting lights out. The Braves pissed me off the other night losing to the Mets the way they did, but I still need him in my fantasy lineups.
Gotta get my innings in. I was looking to see my pitchers this week.
Yeah, got to get your innings in.
But as a Phillies fan, I'm not concerned. I mean,
he doesn't care about nothing. You just brush it off.
This is what happens every year.
You're relying on the end. You're relying on that's your strategy.
History, baby, history.
You're relying on the end.
Hasn't screwed with me yet.
No, man. I just don't think it's a safe plan, especially when you can rack up so many easy victories against some of the bottom feeders on that side.
This is what we do.
You guys you beat the Cardinals today, so you won the series 2-1. Cardinals beat you guys yesterday. I'm not really sure what the Cardinals are, honestly, based off of what I've seen so far from them.
I don't know what the Cardinals are. I don't know what the Reds are.
Sonny Gray looked good. Cincinnati is another team where it's that time where we look at some of the baseball teams from last year that we thought had all the potential in the world, and we see how much they've grown in 1 year. Like, can you make the playoffs this year? Can you make some noise in the postseason? And it's wide open right now. I feel like it's a little bit more wide open in the National League for some reason. Because I don't know if a lot of people expected the Milwaukee Brewers to come out and, hit the way that they've been hitting recently. These marks talking about the fight.
I'm getting attacked already. Freaking Nick. Chris, your cousin's attacking me already. Already attacking me.
Bro, I know that Nick was going crazy for WrestleMania when Cody won, bro. He was probably wearing the Cody Rhodes the jacket that he wears. No, he wasn't wearing the jacket.
He had the hoodie.
He was saying, "Oh," whenever he was saying it in his living room. He couldn't help himself, bro. I know all AEW fans were watching WrestleMania and wishing and imagining AEW having storylines that people cared about that much. You got work to do, bro. That's all there is to it.
They got a lot of work to do. That was real. That shit was real Vince Russo.
And not for nothing, the footage that they just showed reminded me of GTV back in the day. It was very Vince Russo-ish, what I just saw from these guys. So it's crazy. You're back on the Superstation. You're the other.
We're just missing Vince Russo coming down in hockey gear, getting ready to defend the world title that he won in a cage match.
Oh, I got to listen to what Russo says about this. I gotta listen to what he said.
Bully Ray already shitted on it.
I cannot wait.
Bully Ray said my point exactly. What did this do to enhance your show? Yeah.
Already?
He already listened. I got the tweet right here.
At least you're rich. You can't run out of money, right?
Yeah, it's like Punk said. AEW will be around as long as the guy went. And there you have it. So I ask you, did that segment accomplish anything? Comment here or call in later. Talk to you at 10 Eastern, Bo After Dark, Busted Open Radio. He's got a good show every day on Sirius.
Yeah.
And sometimes they like a day later they'll post stuff like on YouTube. And he speaks like a lot of good shit, man. Like he doesn't talk about everybody tries to say that Bully's just like he's mad or he's jealous. Like what does that guy have to be jealous? He went down as one of the most decorated tag team wrestling champions or tag teams ever. There's nothing to be mad about that. The fact that they compared the two Saturday night events, attendance numbers is insane. Yes, it is. That was crazy. Those numbers. They had 140-some thousand people in 2 days.
Saturday and Sunday with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was having a good time, man.
He was high as hell.
He was having a really good time. But you know what? His commentary wasn't bad.
It wasn't.
His commentary wasn't bad at all.
When he was cussing, Michael Cole was like, and
I'm sorry.
Pat McAfee's like, say what you want, you're Snoop.
I'm sorry, but without Snoop Dogg, that whole street fight is a bathroom break. Honestly. Snoop Dogg made that match, bro. Snoop Dogg carried that match. Just making it fun, bro. It was a whole other 70,000.
I think it was like 70-some thousand the first. It was like 140-some thousand. Like Triple H in the post game was like, he was like, yeah, I don't know what Snoop was saying, but these are the real numbers. And it was like 100, like 10 or 50,000 less.
Do you think Cody loses the belt at SummerSlam?
Yep. But Cody Rhodes sold $1 million worth of merchandise this past weekend. $1 million worth of merchandise this past weekend. And I was one of those people that purchased something for my son that's coming in the mail tomorrow. It's his birthday presents next week when we go away for vacation. But I'm gonna hand him his new shirt, even though like I bought this before he won the championship. It just says finish the story. The story's been finished, so he might be mad that I bought him that.
See, me being someone, and I'm a casual watcher. I don't always tune in, but I feel as though what's about to happen is exactly what I predicted. Is we're about to see what he can do as far as carrying the company as the guy.
We can't, we could say like, oh, I know you're the mindset that you don't think he can do it.
I don't know if he can. Now we're about to see if he can.
Yeah.
Now we're about to see if he can, because guess what?
We got to give him the shot.
Roman probably going to be out of the picture. Seth Rollins is hurt. I don't know if anybody noticed, but that man was going through it. Like, and he wrestled back-to-back matches.
Gutted through it, bro.
Two bad legs.
I knew he had to been hurt because in that opening match, he was not like moving around well.
Dude was hurt.
I could see it, and he was just gutting through it. He pulled a Triple H.
Dude was hurt. Like, and still.
The draft is going to set up who he's going to feud with, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm also the mindset. I think he's going to feud with some of the Bloodline members, like the Jimmies, the Solos, maybe somebody new, like their other cousin coming in, Jacob Fatu. Maybe him as well. Because I think it's too soon to put Gunther against him, because if you do that, Cody's keeping the belt. And Gunther's gonna lose, and you don't want to do that yet.
You got Jay versus Priest. That's coming.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have that as like the SmackDown special. So you just got to figure out who's gonna be the first person lined up to do the job and make Cody look strong.
So if his merchandise continues to sell that way,
Balor, cue in Finn Balor. Oh, the Judgment Day is gonna have 2 belts. Just throw him out there.
Taking L's.
Or AJ Styles.
Drew McIntyre has still not re-signed the contract. And it's crazy that they're putting him in such a prominent light, and he has not signed the deal. So that means Triple H must have full faith that they're going to get him to re-sign. Because there's no way Hunter's going to keep pushing this guy and The next night he winds up on the show that has like 3,000 people show up.
I don't think that you're going to see too much storyline progression until the draft. These next couple weeks, they're just going to go
Fillers.
through the motions.
You're going to get your fillers. You know, like
these guys are going to get.
You know, when you're watching your favorite
everything
TV
around.
show and you're in the midst of a great storyline, but then
Snoop did save that
2
match,
episodes happen that really don't mean much.
Snoop did save that match. Like it wasn't even close.
The match was terrible. I am
Dreaming
not a
shits.
carrying
That
cross
was
guy.
That was a Saturday night pre-show type.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I first saw the names, I was like, who the fook are these guys, bro? Like, I know Bobby Lashley. I heard of the Street Profits, but when I saw all these guys, like, who, what is this?
I'm not a big fan of
Who
Killer
is
Cross. Not at all.
They got Paul Ellering out there. His first Mania ever for him.
I'm more, I like the Profits. AJ Styles talking about retiring soon. I believe it. AJ's been going strong for a long time. He was there in the dying days of WCW. People
Are you
forget.
sure he's going to retire soon? Because he looks freaking, like,
Jacked.
bigger than ever. Like, are you sure his plan is to retire?
Jacked.
Like, he must have some other plans or anything, because dude just looks different, bro. I don't know what happened in the time that he spent away. You know, taking your vitamins.
There's
saying your
enough
prayers.
people
I
there
don't know.
for them to have a good storyline. I don't think just because The Rock's gone and you're not going to see Roman for a while that the show's just going to suck now. I just don't see it. They were cooking when those guys weren't there. So I could see them continue to cook.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely cooking. They're definitely cooking. Yeah, bro.
Needle plus ass
Jesus.
cheek, brother. Wait, what?
Steroids. Lex Express.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bro, yeah. Call IcoPro, bro. Something ain't right with that.
Remember Bret Hart said the Ico Pro tasted like shit in that shoot interview?
He buries everything. That's why I love listening to him talk. Because he does not hold back for nothing.
Somebody busted out a interview from him on Twitter questions. We're like, who's your favorite wrestler? And he was like, right now, this is like 4 years ago, Cody Rhodes. That's a guy who's going to do some things.
Cody Rhodes.
Because he's real. You know how Bret is.
That's all Bret needs, bro. As long as you're real, brother,
That's all he
he'll ride
needs.
with you. He don't care. Oh, Max Struess, you bum. Why do I keep adding Max Struess to anything? Why do I keep making him a part of my decisions as far as betting goes? What's he ever done? Honestly, like they tell me all the time, he's in the green, he's gonna go over, and then you put a wager in on Max Struess, and he screws up everything, kind of like he's doing tonight for me with 4 minutes left in that basketball game. As the quick rundown here, figure while I'm on here, give you the scores, what's happening right now in the world of basketball. Let's see, a little bit to load here. Right now, the Cavs are up on the Grizzlies, 99-83. Mind you, this I might
Aaron
give them a little
Boone,
bit of
first
a delay.
ejection of the season. You
Boone
know
got ejected?
what that
Oh,
means.
He's spazzing out.
Where's it at?
Aaron Boone's losing it tonight. It's probably because we're losing.
Ladies and
tonight.
gentlemen,
We're looking-
and boom!
Get him the hell out of here. Get this maniac the hell out of here. He came out the dugout screaming and yelling about strikes and balls. And you know what? If I was an ump and I saw that man walking towards me, I'm ejecting his ass before he even goes through the motions. I'm not going to let you come out here crawling around.
Teaching another umpire what a strike zone is.
Oh, God, bro. He's something else. You knew it was coming.
There it
You knew it was
is.
coming. In the late moments of tonight's game in Yankee Stadium, down 4-1, here comes Aaron Boone getting ready to get himself ejected out of the first game of the season. You know what? I'm proud of him because
Chris
he
said in his
lasted a
defense,
while.
though, the ump is terrible tonight.
I only saw the first couple innings, so I didn't notice any trends as far as the umps go. I do know that
He ejected him
Angels-
before he walked out.
Nice.
What?
That's what you got to do.
How's that possible?
You can't let him gather momentum because he only gets stronger if you allow him to continue going. Yeah, he's only going to keep,
You're
with
saying Aaron Boone's the Hawk?
his brouhaha and all his other nonsense and his shenanigans. Yeah, you can't let him get all the way out there because then the crowd's going to start cheering for him and he's going to start feeding off that. The ump did a good job. Get him out as soon as he starts freaking out, because there's no way, dude. He's like Jimmy Dugan, or at least he thinks he is in his mind. gotta get that guy out of there. The minute he starts yelling.
Man.
I know the Angels manager was pissed off about some strikes and balls in today's game as the Angels lost.
They called like 3 different outside pitches strikes on Verdugo on 2 different plate appearances. They just trying to get out of the stadium.
The Angels cameramen are sort of doing a good job, like AEW, of avoiding the seats where nobody's actually in them. However, there's so many empty seats in the Angels stadium that you still can't avoid it. Nobody's going out to watch the Angels. The umps are probably just like, you expect us to do you any favors? Like, you guys are losers.
You guys are on your own.
You have nothing out here. Mike Trout's hitting home runs like every single day, but there's nobody on base. So there's just a bunch of solo shots. You know?
Verdugo just smashed his helmet in the dugout. Come on now. Come on. Can't be violent.
Dude, I like Verdugo. I don't mind him at all. He's been a nice adage to the group so far. Nothing against him.
Can I please get the Aaron Judge game-winning 3-run home run?
3-run bomb, walk-off. We score a run before he hits the home run, and then got 2 guys on. And then you know what? Stanton hits another home run. Stanton hits another home run, and I know somewhere, some way, Noli knows he did it, and he's going to justify dropping him because he's a Yankee, not because he actually wants to win in fantasy baseball. How do you think you got to 9-2? You think Stanton like, bro, you don't do that. You don't give away one of your best hitters. You don't just throw a guy like Stanton back out there the first week in fantasy
Mike
baseball.
Stanton,
formerly known as Giancarlo. Going up against, and you know he's going to try to hit a bomb against his old baseball team, bro. Everybody does. Like, that's what you do. You're going up against your old team.
You're right.
You try to go and hit a bomb, bro. Just like Joey Gallo. The next time he plays the Yankees, he's going to hit a home run against us because, you know, that's just, the motivation is different.
That fastball looks bigger. That curveball doesn't curve. That slider doesn't dip because they're just so focused and so angry.
Sonny Gray actually looked good yesterday. Sonny Gray looked that's one of those guys where it's like we didn't do right by him because he would be great with what we've got going on. And at the time that we had him, we just didn't. We gave too many things away. We were like on some Oprah shit where we're just handing out people and it was just for what? Like giving away great players, giving away the farm system. Like, you know, for what? And the thing is, that's like he was barely even starting at the job at the time when we were doing this. So it's just he was
coming
have
out of the
control.
bullpen.
He didn't have control over that. Aaron Boone was just kind of happy to be there, happy to have the job, and trusting in management when we were just giving people away.
When they gave him the job, he had to sit back and say, "Oh, you're really hiring me."
Oh shit, manager. Shit.
I just interviewed. I didn't think I was getting the job.
I actually tuned into the game. That shit was empty. Yeah, it was empty ain't the word, bro. You know that on podcast days, baseball also starts earlier too, similar to Sundays.
Yeah, it's
So
weird.
you'll have games like at 1. Tomorrow, there's going to be games around 1, 2 o'clock.
The other day, the Pirates played at like 12:35 in the afternoon.
It's cool though because it's like on days that I work, like leading to getting ready for work, I have something to watch. Like, you know, basketball, the slate, these guys usually don't start playing till like 6:30, 7 o'clock. You know, daytime TV, I don't really follow daytime TV. So for me, like daytime baseball is daytime TV.
Oh shit!
And catching up to shows like, you know, just finished watching episode 5 of X-Men and whew, no spoilers here. You got to see it for yourself.
I'm gonna lose that.
You got to
one.
see that shit for yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose.
It's time. It's time, bro. It is time. Definitely, like, as a fan of the show and as a fan of, like, you know, all the storylines and the show that
I need a cash out option, damn it.
What for?
All those unders I played.
Yeah, bro. It's...
One
Yeah,
of these days
I'm not
gonna
gonna
hit
spoil it
these
for you, bro.
unders.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I like to wait until other people start talking about it so that I know they saw it and I can start exchanging theories. So once you watch it, you just let me know. Let me know what you think, and I'll let you know what my opinion is on it because it's definitely one of those things where it's like, oof, Yeah.
Damn, Steph came back on me.
Yeah, it's middle of the week, so Sandlot Baseball Association. Maybe
Shit.
you got some momentum early.
My hitters could score and hit home runs, but they can't bat for average to save their lives.
Oh shit!
The fighting little Jimmy's in first place.
Yes, they are fighting little Jimmy's, and in big part thanks to Anthony Volpe, but he already knows that. Volpe is the face of that team.
Little Jimmy's on vacation. How bad is that matchup?
Chris is killing. Chris has a good squad.
Oh,
Chris has a good squad. I was looking at Chris's numbers as well. He has a good team. He doesn't look like
he didn't get a quality start from Aaron Nola today.
Did Nola go?
Chris should have had a
6?
quality. Yeah,
He went 6.
yeah, he went 6 innings. Chris should have gotten a quality start from him.
How many runs did he allow?
Let me see. I can tell you right now.
It was 4-3, I think it was, right?
Oh wait, he doesn't have Nola. Don't tell me he left him on the bench.
It's hard to trust the Phillies, man. Lately, y'all been funny money, yo. I picked the Phillies money line yesterday, and they never called back.
Yo, who has Aaron Nola?
I don't know. The waivers? No, somebody has him. Drew has Nola.
Drew
So
has
you got
Nola?
Fighting little Jimmy's.
But
I
he
think
didn't
he has-
originally have Nola. Didn't he get traded?
He has Nola and he has Suarez. And right now, Drew is dealing with the Spencer Strider crisis, similar to how I'm dealing with it in my other league. Luckily, I have Tyler Glass now in that league, and he gave me 14 strikeouts yesterday.
Yo, but he didn't draft Nola. Who traded Nola to him? Wasn't it Chris? Didn't you have Nola?
I know definitely there was a trade made, and there's a couple more that people are looking for because of the Volpe sweepstakes. All eyes on Volpe right now when it comes to fantasy baseball. But yeah, I've definitely been observing Chris's team, and the team's dangerous. Not trying to look too far ahead because right now I'm just focused on my matchup going up against Mikey. World Series sponsored by Heritage.
Miguel has him.
Nola? Did he get the quality start? I think he did, right?
He should have, right? Because, let's see, Plata or Plumo.
I know in my matchup, my pitching has definitely come through. I just wish that I was getting the run support. Today, it's looking pretty good. Today, I have 3 home runs so far.
Yep, quality start right there. Boom, 1.
Yeah. Quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs or less. I like the category. I think it's a fair category. I think it's a cool category to track. Once you have your pitcher going into that 6th inning and needing those couple of outs to secure that quality start, like it means just as much as a win does, basically. But you can get the quality start without your pitcher getting the win, as long as he stays under that 3-run mark. So it's just interesting for the purposes of strategy.
Agreed.
Oh man, right now? It's 4-5 between Mikey and myself. The Bambinos are hitting tonight. My team is 9 for 34, 6 runs, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, a stolen base. I've got 11 innings pitched, a win and a quality start with an ERA of .82. So again, my pitching is doing their job to this point. I'd be very thankful for a little bit more run support, please.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of guys taking days off today. I don't feel that part either. I already dropped Sawinski because he's been dead weight. I don't know how. I know your mom's a Pirates fan. I'm not sure how she feels about Jack Sawinski. I think he has been a bum so far this year. Literally has taken like 5 out of 6 days off. Supposed to be one of my power home run guys and just ranked like 500 something. It was easy to drop you because all that tells me is there's 500 plus better options than you, pal. And I went and looking for one. All right. Not too bad. There's still a couple. Okay.
How we looking?
It's looking all right. Just found $5 in the dryer. Gonna be a good night. Oh shit. Yeah, man. NBA season's about to be done. A lot of these
Yeah, it's
NBA teams
crazy.
in the playoffs are about to be done once we get to this playoff format. Like, I'm just hoping for
This is just a reminder that someone secretly stole $4.5 million from Shohei Ohtani, and absolutely nothing happened to that person.
because nobody stole his money.
That's
That's why nothing happened to that person. A guy got fired because another guy was making bets on an illegal gambling site in California. And we all know who that guy is. Welcome to the dark side of baseball. Dude, they'd actually make some killer episodes. If Darkseid got a hold of just baseball alone, they could do an entire season on the baseball scandals.
Breaking news: Rashid Rice plans to turn himself in connection with the warrant that was issued for him.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Rashid Rice, the issue.
According to NBC, the team could be able to terminate his contract immediately. And we're back down to the Chiefs not having wide receiver one. Oh, wait, they got Hollywood Brown. So that's interesting. Just
Chiefs
going
have
through the
Hollywood
Twitter
Brown.
to see I see anything else.
Hollywood Brown, Miko Hardman.
What a set.
Right?
The Bash Brothers.
Hey, did the Chiefs go out there, shock the world, and draft a wide receiver? Did they draft a good wide receiver?
Well, they're going to have to if they're going to cut this
A
guy.
little bit of a trade up. You think that's where it goes to? You think Rashid Rice's career is done?
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Man, that's brutal, bro.
Uh,
That's how it always feels whenever. That's crazy because you got what we just heard about as far as Ohtani, and then you got like when football players get in trouble, it's just like there's no saving them a lot of times.
Let's go back to scores. See how we're doing.
Chiefs got Kadarius Toney. Do they? Always hard to track that guy between the IR and
Who really
whoever rosters him.
But do the Chiefs really want Kadarius Toney?
Well, they got him. Not always about
Bottom of
what
the
you
eighth,
want.
Volpe's up the bat.
Oh boy,
Unless I'm behind.
we might be on a little bit of a delay.
There's a man on first, dude, with no outs.
You rally, boys. Am I gonna have to put the Yankee game on?
Yo, am I about to get my home run?
Well, Volpe is leading off tonight, so they did hear me. Oh, let me just. Yeah, I'm throwing it on big innings.
Volpe walked. Big
We got
innings
2
real.
on.
I mean, is big inning live?
Big inning real? Yes, it's very real.
Is it live? Like, is there a big inning so I can put it on?
I have it on MLB TV. I don't know if MLB Network is showing it. Oh, there it is. There we go. Cool. All right, so I don't have to leave the comments.
There is going to
Even
be
though
a delay.
I feel like we kind of covered everything that we needed to cover as far as the pod tonight, right? Covered the essentials for tonight's podcast.
It's on Prime.
Yeah, we're on Prime. We got it on the big inning right now. We're catching
Jumpin' Jay Fizzle in the comments.
What up, Jumpin' Jay? Right as we're closing out, he comes in.
He comes in for the hot tag.
Hey, he comes in for the hot tag. Soto up to bat right now. What's going on, Jumpin'
Yo,
Jay?
just get on base.
We were just talking about the Chiefs, and it just so happens that you come in right now. We were asking whether Kadarius Toney was with you guys or not. This whole situation going on with Rashid Rice turning himself in. A guy that I was getting ready to trade.
If anybody should know, he should know what's the deal. He's got to be in tune. Cut.
That's it. Like Chiefs going to.
He wasted no time.
Damn. So I mean, guilty then? Like he's trash. Yeah. So Jumpin' Jay has no attachment to Soto. Nice hit.
Oh, come on. No. Keep him at third.
Volpe. Oh, he's going. Volpe's going, and he's going to score.
Oh, what? If
He's gonna
Aaron
score.
Judge hits
That
a
boy
home
was
run.
running.
If Aaron
Woo!
Judge hits a home run,
Then all rise.
I am going to spaz, bro.
Rise. And then Stanton follows up with a home run. And then that's the ball game. Oh, no, we're in the 8th right now. So we have another. But this is the
I'm
heart and soul
going
of our
to
lineup.
spaz if Aaron Judge hits a home run because I would have won my parlay then.
Draft Laud from Georgia. That's who you want. But like, that's who you think will be there at the position that you're drafting at? Because you guys are 32nd, right? Oh, Judge, you should have.
They're the last.
It's all right though. Just bring them around. You think? I mean, there's going to be a plethora of talented star caliber wide receivers in this draft. As Judge is on an 0-2 count right now.
All right, dude. I was just messing around. I need you to get on base for my fantasy team, dog.
We know guys like now we're hearing that Indy is interested in Malik Neighbors, which is an interesting. There's a lot of people that want Malik Neighbors. He's starting to become like that second name being heard after Harrison.
I think Ladd will be their draft. Oh, there's a lot of wide receivers. Listen, this draft is going to be deep with wide receivers.
Super deep.
And in 2 weeks on this podcast, I'll have the first round mock draft. Jumping Jay Fizzle, you are more. If they say he went, that's BS. Jumping Jay Fizzle, if you are in town or off, you are more than welcome for in 2 weeks to be here while I drop off the annual O Money mock draft.
Joe Alt is my guy. That's who I want. Joe Alt. That's who makes sense.
I don't think he went still.
Do you have?
I'm gonna know right now.
Do you have Joe Alt going to the Tennessee Titans?
I don't think he went, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if that camera angle does justice. Oh, what the fuck? No, we don't want that.
Neighbors will be a giant. Okay,
let me see
that. Yeah. I got to see what's going on here. It's escalated quick.
Who do the Giants want? Here we go again. Joe Alt to the Giants. I want him to be a Titan, bro. You guys draft right before us.
Mikey said Neighbors will be a giant, and his own brother was the one that said,
guys to get Neighbors.
No, we don't want that.
Draft Neighbors. Go ahead. Draft
I really think that we'll give a post-draft 1-year deal to Michael Thomas and McCole Hardman. Maybe Hunter Renfrow. The play for KC to get wide receivers after the draft so they don't lose comp picks.
Yeah.
Well, the Steelers are in talks still. You know, the Niners can keep lying about it, but the Steelers are still linked to trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk. And then a newer rumor came out today.
I heard about Justin Simmons rumors.
And there's also the rumor of them talking to Seattle for this dude, Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett. Mr. Catch and Fall himself.
Yeah. That he already knows, you know, he'll have that chemistry with Russ already.
Yeah, it's true. He will. That would be a nice little adage.
There is a wide receiver from Oregon with crazy speed. You can see the Chiefs getting him. There's a lot of wide receivers. Lots of wide receivers.
Bro, the closer we get to the draft, the more I started listening to these guys about Marvin Harrison becoming a Cardinal, and the Cardinals kind of taking that step into trying to, you know, get back into, you know, wake the hell up and get back into the mix. Like they're going to make that push to try to be a wild card team. I think that he would actually be a really good fit for the Cardinals. You got Malik Neighbors, you got Odenze, who is he's probably the one that gets drafted after Neighbors. So he won't be too far.
It's going to be Harrison, Neighbors. Odenze, Neighbors, Brian Johnson. There's a couple of them, man. Not to mention if all these quarterbacks go in the top 10, some of these tight ends, I mean, well, Brock Bowers.
Bowers, bro. Oh,
I've seen the Titans mock to him.
Bro.
I've seen the Bengals mock to him, the Jets.
We like Bowers, bro.
You're going to get guys like that in the higher teens because of all these quarterbacks picked early. So some of these tackles are going to be moving up too.
Yeah. Not to mention the wide receiver gems that are going to fall into the second round.
Yep.
You know, once you get your first round pick and then you get one of these guys who are going to come out and they're going to like take over your wide receiver room. because
they definitely
like,
weren't trying to pitch to him.
No, he wasn't. He wanted no parts of Giancarlo.
Especially lefty against righty. No way.
Not with a guy on second. He
Who's
wasn't
up?
doing that. It's Anthony Rizzo right now. Anthony Rizzo batting fifth in the lineup. 4-2 game right now, bottom of the eighth, 1 out. And we've got a pinch runner coming on. So that's the end of Giancarlo Stanton's night because Lord knows he's the slowest.
Yo, DraftKings, can you please put back the single game parlay insurance again?
You know what? I didn't miss it today. It was actually a breath of fresh air, not having to worry about making.
Because I probably would have gotten today. I would have gotten 2 out of 3 right.
My problem was I put Max Strus assist in my profit boost today, and he just derailed that completely with his lack of assists. So, you know. But overall, I'm seeing a lot of green, so I'm pretty happy about that. I think it's just because I've been not trying to get so cute with my parlays, doing 2-leggers and doing straight bets and just building off of the system that we've been able to put together. I hit a couple parlays, bro, and I start going crazy the next day. I'm like, oh, let me make this 9-legger. This is gonna hit. I didn't even do a 3-pointers parlay today. So you know I'm trying to restrain myself.
Can I get some of these games to freaking end? All right, I got my first one done. Green, I see green bean there.
Green bean? Nice. We love eating green beans.
I'm so scared about this Hornets Hawks one.
So
all they need is 20 more points. 21 points in it.
Damn, bro. Pop up by Anthony Rizzo. 2 outs. Big out for the Marlins here. As Rizzo pops up. And now Gleyber Torres, batting 6th, gets the opportunity to get himself out of the slump. The leadoff position was not good for Gleyber. They kind of swapped him and Volpe in the lineup tonight. So maybe tonight at the 6th spot, Gleyber Torres gives us some of that much-needed pop with 2 outs and 2 on base. We cannot keep leaving guys on the bag in these moments. This is where, in Yankee Stadium, you have to step up to the plate and make something happen for the team. And that's a pitch that you should have swung on. He hesitated.
Oh, you're angry.
It was right there. It dropped right down the middle of the plate, and he just stared at it with his weird batting stance. Come on, Gleyber. That one was low. Ball. Yeah, next week.
Yeah, yesterday I did Delano Banton assist over 4.5.
That?
Some guy for the Blazers.
Delano Banton.
Guess what? 4 assists. I need 1 more assist, and the $3 bet would have turned into $10.
Who the fuck is that going?
I was just going off of Action Network's bets.
Okay.
Some of them hit, some of them definitely don't.
Sometimes you just take your shot and see what happens. You take your chances. You follow along with what you like. You dismiss what you don't like, and you know. And then you have your variables, and then the equation is set, and then the night happens, and you watch everything either fall into place or fall apart as Gleyber Torres strikes out to end the inning. 4-2 as we go into the top of the ninth. Disappointing way to end the 8th right there with 2 guys on base. Very disappointing.
Y'all pissed me off on Saturday, too. Volpe not getting a hit. The Blue Jays coming back and beating y'all.
They didn't come back and beat us.
Oh, no, they didn't. You're right.
They didn't come back. This is only going to be our 3rd
I had
loss
Yankees run line.
The run line is what cost you because we only beat them by 1, and we only won by 1 yesterday. So. Federally charged. Oh, yeah. Is that real? Is he really getting federally charged? He's really going to do
Nick,
that?
it most likely was me texting you and commenting on your shit.
You guys arguing about tonight's show?
Hey, E-W! Hey, E-W! Hey, E-W!
You're arguing with him while we're live on the pod about tonight's events.
I'm a multitasker.
The scrum.
Gotta go. Phone's dying. CM Punk beat me up and stole my damn charger.
Beat him up with working punches.
Oh, you gotta come down here. We gotta watch some wrestling together, Nick. We really do.
Live reactions. It would be a lot of fun.
Maybe I'll get Dynasty. Maybe I'll get Dynasty. And if you're off, I'll make sure you come down so we can watch AEW Dynasty together.
I'm guessing he loved tonight's show.
Quite possibly.
There's a good chance that he absolutely loved every minute of tonight's show.
And Otani's been absolved of charges.
Never
Yo,
happened.
they swept that thing really good under the rug,
Dark side of
man.
baseball. 10 years from now, a book will be written about it.
Oh, Otani's interpreters to be federally charged.
That's why I saw that, and I was just asking if that was real.
Rob. That's Raj.
Damn.
That's Raj. That's Roj.
Like federally, like America federally, or
Bro, is he?
federally out there federally?
He's gonna
Like,
spill the beans, bro. He's gonna spill the beans,
dude. They're gonna silence him. Like you can't spill the like. There's something. They're gonna. Oh man, that's crazy, bro. Like this dude, like was like your best friend, bro. You guys were best friends, and
Pete
this
Rose.
dude is literally taking the bullet.
Eric said Pete Rose was like, "Damn, that's
Shout
how
out
you
to
got
Rose.
away with it."
You know, I'm following all the comments off of the computer screen, and everybody is Facebook user. So I'm trying to match the sentences to the people based on like knowing you guys.
We got to get that changed. I know on YouTube you see the names.
Yeah. Still got the
If you're a
logo
YouTube
already.
watcher, you know what? Maybe we should try something next week.
Maybe you're gonna
Maybe
be on the
next
cruise
week.
next week.
Oh shit, you're right.
So we're doing we're doing the Westminster Puppy Show next week. We'll not be live. I may go live from my crib for a bit, a quick rundown of what's happening because it's
My
gonna
sister's
be
gonna be here.
true.
So
I
maybe
don't know. I don't
if
know
I
Mikey's
can-
schedule, so I'm not.
You
sure.
guys let me know, and I can make sure it's set up.
Yeah, we'll see. But
You
my
just gotta
backup
get.
plan.
You just gotta get past the guard dog.
My backup plan was just probably going live from the crib and doing something for the NBA playoffs, like going over rehashing the finals prediction and some of the predictions
Puppy
people
show.
have, as well as
It's an old knock on when wrestling would get postponed
Yeah.
back in the day.
when Monday Night
They
Raw
would
would take the
postpone.
week off.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw would get postponed for a dog show.
Yeah, so that's a shtick.
Think of- We're in
Westminster
2024, and when you think about it, it's like what? And yes, they would do that.
Yeah, Raw would be postponed for the Westminster Puppy
It would
Show.
be like there were some weeks sometimes there was no Raw. Sometimes they put it on Thursday.
The puppies
Sometimes they
went
put it
over.
on Saturday. Bro, you knew they were serious about that damn thing when they did it on Saturdays.
Yeah.
When they did that shit on Saturdays.
And the Royals are whooping the Astros
in the
ass
midst
right now.
of
92.
in the midst of freaking the Attitude Era, they still put them bitches on Saturday.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, I hated that back in the day. We all did. That was the one day of the year that everybody just watched Nitro all night.
Yeah, WCW knew it.
Or when Nitro wasn't on, because remember that was even going on in the early 90s. You was probably just watching a rerun of Saved by the Bell on like Nick at Night or something.
I wasn't a Saved by the Bell guy.
I was.
It wasn't my thing. I just didn't find it interesting.
When I wake
That
up
was
in the
the,
morning. And
That was the change the channel type of show, like Seinfeld. When Seinfeld came on,
I always change the channel.
It's
Yeah.
not. I heard the theme music and I was like, "Oh, this ain't for me." Yeah, you lost my interest immediately. Like now, I'll probably find Seinfeld to be a lot funnier as an adult because your tastes change as you grow. But as a kid, I had no.
I
time.
never watched them.
I had no time.
King of Queens. Ha
I don't mind that show. I like
Friends.
Doug
I
Heffernan.
never watched Friends when I was younger either.
I wasn't a Friends guy either. I wasn't I don't care. I'm sorry. Sorry. I just didn't care.
The internet mocks are gonna come after us now because we don't like Friends.
just you can't make me watch it. I didn't want to watch it. It wasn't my
I watched baseball.
Fresh Prince of
I used to love
Bel-Air.
Monday Night Baseball when, like, you know, when the baseball season was going. Sunday Night Baseball, of course.
Simpsons, Mad TV, Critic. I didn't watch none of that shit. I definitely watched The Simpsons, bro. That was my shit. I grew up on stuff like that. I grew up watching like with my
Like
aunts and uncles
Nickelodeon,
watched.
that Saturday day of play. What the hell is this? I want to watch cartoons, bro.
Oh yeah, like people getting slimed and shit. Like it was Legends of the Hidden Temple was my shit though.
I did like
I
that.
loved that show. That was a good show.
I used to like the game arcade show. It only lasted like a year.
Because people didn't support it enough.
It was a great game. It was a great
They
show,
cut the funding on that shit.
which was crazy.
Can't afford this shit.
It's just like I used to love Salute Your Shorts when I was a kid.
Salute Your Shorts. Hey, dude.
Salute Your Shorts lasted like a year and a half, and that's it, which I never understood why, because that show was freaking awesome. Sabro Gigante, Papa.
Sábado Sensacional, bro.
Chris Roy watching Casa Cerrado.
Bro, Sábado Gigante was like 4 hours. You were watching that shit from the beginning, dude. With the Chacal and all the skits they were doing. I was watching that show for all the models.
My dad really never watched Sábado Gigante or any of that.
It was a staple at the house.
Especially once we
staple.
got TBS, forget it. In my house during that time slot, they were watching like Renegade and the Highlander. Like
I watched Renegade.
They were watching all that.
I watched
And my dad had that show on. And then when we got TBS out here, because we never had TBS until like it was crazy because we got TBS out here when Hulk Hogan finally like went to WCW.
Yeah.
So we got it, bro. My dad every Saturday night was putting Saturday Night Wrestling on with WCW because that was a 2-hour program back then.
We had that channel, so like I would tune in and out of that Saturday Night Wrestling. Are You Afraid of the Darks? That was like that was Nickelodeon's Goosebumps, basically. Are You Afraid?
There's
of the
a
Dark?
couple episodes of that show that like made you go, whoa.
Yeah. It was
Like
different.
I ain't even gonna lie.
It was different.
Like, see, I'm older than y'all, so like I grew up in the heyday of the Saturday morning cartoons, the mid to late '80s. Like all three made because Fox really wasn't around like that yet. They were there, but not there.
But they were about to blow up.
3, 6, and 10 had cartoons from 7 to 12 o'clock. It was euphoria back then.
Pandemonium.
Garfield and Friends, The Real Ghostbusters, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo was on 6. Channel 10 had like Smurfs and all that other stuff. Channel 3 had Ninja Turtles. Every one of them like had different, like that was the heyday back then. And a lot of the 80s cartoons really didn't last. They were just like, here you go. You could blame the ending of Saturday morning cartoons on the government.
They got pushed out.
The government said that there should be so many educational hours in the morning for children. So when that rule came down, basically Saturday mornings died. That's just the truth.
They buried them, bro, for no reason.
Yeah, Jake, but I haven't seen today's episode, so I'm probably gonna watch it when I wake up tomorrow, or I'll probably watch it on my break.
I watched it an hour before we got live here. I was sitting in my basement watching it. I can't wait till O Money watches it. I can't wait till the rest of you watch it, because man, it's go time.
See, you guys woke up. Oh, you know what? Your era wasn't that bad though. Like your era was the last. It was the last round of Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah,
it really
It
was
was the last true run of Saturday mornings.
Because Fox Kids still would put out like they just Fox always does what the hell they want.
But we also had we had Saturday morning wrestling. We had Saturday morning cartoons. You had like the Saturday morning sports shows. So it was like a little bit. And then also, for our era, video games had become a little bit more advanced. So it was Saturday morning video games rocking that out, where it's like you're not tuned into some of the shows compared to 10 years prior, where it's that first, and then like the video games might have been secondary.
I want to say 86 or 87. I think I was when I was 4. I remember the Nintendo Hour. It was a crazy ass cartoon where the kid was a part of the Nintendo group and they would go chasing other video games.
That's cool.
Then after that show got canned and they brought in the Super Mario cartoon, that's a classic.
That show, bro.
The Mario Brother cartoon's a classic.
I love that freaking show.
There's a lot of great 80s, but like I said, but mainly in the 80s, cartoons were created to sell toys.
Yes.
That's all it was. It was a 22-minute toy commercial.
In the 90s, politics got involved. Because there was more money.
Yeah.
and stuff for breakfast, and we would watch Saturday morning cartoons. What a time to be alive. You ain't lying, bro. Were you more excited for the new episode of X-Men or Spider-Man? I didn't get up early enough a lot of times
X-Men
to watch both, but I was more
The
hyped
problem-
about X-Men.
X-Men would come on at 11, I think, and Spider-Man came on at 10.
I was more hyped for the X-Men.
My dumbass was too busy worried about watching Mania. Even though I just watched Raw, I'm watching Mania again. Like, I was a mark.
Like Saturday morning at 10, I was watching Livewire.
Yeah.
I had Michael Cole doing the Livewire thing. Toys R Us. Yeah, we were the last of the Toys R Us kids, like going there and that being a big deal.
Kids are so in tune with, you tell kids you play with toys, they look at you like you're crazy.
We had imaginations.
Yeah.
We were creative. Like
the greatest thing
Toys
about
R
toys
Us,
as
man.
kids they were all pretty much the same size. So you were having crossovers at 6 years old that you would never get in real life.
And they had the whether you were into cars, whether you were into figures, whether you were into Legos, Toys R Us had it all mashed up. I remember Stretch Armstrong, bro. Stretch freaking Armstrong, getting them from Toys R Us.
X-Men Evolution.
I remember in second grade.
I was an 18-year-old watching that cartoon. Like, I was like, this shit is really good.
I'm going back to like 96, 97. The infancy of the Attitude Era. And there was a contest. I was in second grade. Whoever could sell the most candy. And the first place would get $100 of Toys R Us money, basically. You could go to Toys R Us and spend it on whatever. I ended up winning the contest, coming in first. And I ended up buying Donkey Kong 2 for my Super Nintendo at the time.
I would run into Oscar more accidentally looking for wrestlers at Toys R Us than anything else. That is true. Freddie, the Steelers don't suck. Dallas sucks. Dallas has a quarterback they don't even want to keep anymore, so stop it.
They're going to pay that quarterback a lot of money.
And your prize defensive end who's going to get a big, beautiful contract extension disappears in big games.
I don't even know where to start looking as far as my Stretch Armstrong. For all I know, it's probably back in Washington Township. It's been so long. But I remember having them.
Dominic Dave used to spend big on wrestlers, and he used to buy everything. His thing was, it's for little Dominic. Bitch. The basics were for your son. The elites, the defining moments were for you.
Oh, man.
But yeah, hopefully in 2 weeks, Jake, you can appear here so we can get this going.
Yeah, that would end up being the mock draft, and then the draft happens. Like, it's already going to be 2 weeks away. That reminds me.
I'm issuing a challenge to Jumpin' Jay Fizzle and Mikey for in 2 weeks to be here live on the podcast so we can talk some NFL draft.
$25 a target.
Who are you telling, Rob? Like, I don't know that.
I used to get the steel cage and everything.
I'll wait till Target does a Target Circle discounts.
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in with us for tonight's
all right,
podcast.
Jake said bet. So in 2 weeks, not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday, the Wednesday before the draft, I'm going to do my mock draft, and we can critique it every 5 picks.
It's on. It is on. Breakdowns for each team, what it means for each team. So then I can focus a little bit more on the NBA playoffs next week. So that in 2 weeks, we're dedicating ourselves to the mock draft.
The On the Money Sports annual mock draft.
And just leaving you with those memorable takes heading into the draft itself the following day.
Why didn't
we're
Steve
doing
Blackman
this.
come out for WrestleMania? Because you're the only Steve Blackman fan, Drew.
You want Steve Blackman to come out when instead of Undertaker, it should have been Steve Blackman. And then he
what was this song? The Steelers still need to draft a quarterback. My quarterback room's cheap. I could live with it.
For a year. It costs you got 2 quarterbacks for free thanks to the stupid Broncos. Because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Oh, look.
Other than that, I think we've covered it all today.
Yeah.
We've given you a little bit of everything. We gave you our review of Mania. Got you ready for this weekend's actions, the final regular season games of the NBA season. And no doubt about it, we're previewing. We already got people ready to talk about Joe Alt, and
That's going to be his name.
Elon does not like that.
We need him. We need that guy.
It's not steal his country, let's ride. It's steal his country, let's wield.
His favorite wrestler was Tajiri.
It was Funaki. Funaki, SmackDown announcer #1.
All right, man. So until then, for those of you who are part of Sandlot Baseball Association, I'll see you in the baseball group chat.
And you'll see me pop up here and there in the chat.
I'll see you guys in the forum. And yeah, enjoy your week, guys. Stay safe. And go Yankees.